Welcome to Christmas at Mapperton. For so many of us around the world, this time of year is incredibly special, and the same holds true here. I want to show you all a little sneak peek of what's behind these doors here at Mapperton, especially during this festive season. Come on in. Lovely. Today I am foraging. There was a huge storm here, and so there's lots of things on the grounds of the garden. And one of the things that we do at Mapperton is we make our own wreaths, we make our own swags, and we really do decorate the house with everything that we can find on the estate. And especially after a storm, there's a lot to find. So we don't have to snip it, we don't have to pull it. It's just there for us to take and then to, of course, create. Look at this. Oh, these are easy to spot. And it's just sort of a slightly darker pink, which I'm technically going to say red for the sake of Christmas. But these will be absolutely fantastic in wreaths and of course in swags as well. Let's see if there's any on the ground. Lovely color. Yep, as expected. The storm has put some down. These will be fantastic just to weave in. Oh yes, this is a treasure trove here of color. I'm searching for this, rosemary. Rosemary, the smell, as we know, is magical and wonderful, and especially around the holiday season. So lucky me, I've just spotted a branch that's come off because of the storm. The smell is glorious, and it would be wonderful to have that scent all around the house. Right. Okay. So explain to me. So you start with this base.
So tradition, well, obviously a wreath circular,
right,
coming from the word writhen or right. So it's a circular base. This one I've done out of some branches. We're going to cheat and do it on a metal base.
Okay.
And then we moss it. So we've got all these lovely things, foraged bits and bobs. The moss just makes it a good base to start on. So you're going to cover that circle.
Right.
Like this.
So that, but I didn't know this. I didn't know that it was, this is why I have you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm going to use
scrunch it, and then you use the wire. You could do this with string, and then we could make it out of branches.
Ah.
You see, and then you wire it. You're going to wire it. You then tie on all your foliage and berries.
So I see. So the wreath represents, obviously, to twist.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is all to do with the shape, the circle, which is the circle of the natural cycle, the seasons, the circle of, the seasons. So it's looking forward to the spring. You're welcoming the spirit of Christmas when you put it on your door. So it goes back to sort of, ancient times, pagan times, the
Roman times.
They used to hang them on their door.
That.
Yeah.
Everything
and
goes
that
back to
symbolised a victory if you put it on your door.
Okay.
So they're kind of quite, a wreath is a real old tradition.
It is. I love it.
In my world, we cheat a little bit by using, it's all using natural ingredients, but we can reuse the wreath base next year.
Okay.
We just pull it all apart. So we start by putting moss on, which means you've got a good base for all your lovely ingredients to sort of hold on to when we attach them. So you're going to go all the way around the wreath base so that it ends up looking like this one that I did earlier. So it's just a little mossed circle.
Yes. Listen, I'm not a pro at this. This is why you're here, because you are. So, and I want to make a really nice wreath. Do you know what I mean?
It'll be beautiful. Every year you make a lovely wreath.
Well, with your help, Kate. Always with your help.
So now we're going to work with all these lovely things, and what I really like is just to get as many textures in as possible. So you've got this lovely cypress, then there's the blue pine, there's the Scots pine. So we'll get some little bits. So here you get some of that.
This one's, what's this called again? Remind.
That's a blue pine,
blue
spruce.
Pine?
Yeah.
Spruce.
And then that's a Scots pine,
Scots
which is gorgeous.
Pine, beautiful,
this
especially
one's
with little
cypress.
pine cones.
This one's really sticky, but it's lovely.
But it's look at this.
And then there's these lovely larch. This was all blown off the trees in the storm.
Fantastic.
And so you see, I've made a tiny little bunch.
Yep.
And then what we're going to do is you start your wreath by putting your little bunch on, and you want the stems to be facing down, so they don't go that way, they go that way. Tighten it really tight and make sure you've got all the stems in.
The smell is incredible in this room right now. I mean,
so now my shop
Christmas.
is smelling, literally everyone that walks in my shop goes, it smells just like Christmas. Do we think we're on the last one?
I think we're on the last one.
Okay, so that you're going to tuck underneath that bit.
Yep.
So it goes under like that.
Ah.
See? And then you wire there, and then that goes on top.
Okay, let me put my hand there.
So you got that?
Yep. And then wire. Okay. Perfect. Let me just do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Just make sure I don't get that pine cone. Okay.
So you might want to go
up front. What do you think?
Yeah,
through there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Or do you want me to cook that one up? Or
I think maybe that needs to go
Okay.
in there. Yeah, go over there. So to finish off,
Okay, yes.
we need to cut your wire, and then we're going to literally thread it through that base. So you kind of like you're sewing, and then you pull it, and you pull it super tight.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's now got it all held together.
It just goes straight through the base. All right. I mean, I'm really happy with this.
I think we're done. I love it. It's fantastic.
It is absolutely perfect. I now want to show you the Muniment Room. So Muniment Rooms in historic houses are the rooms where all the archives, or at least a lot of the archives, are held. So you can imagine here at Mapperton, the Muniment Room is quite full of letters and documents from, different Earls of Sandwiches throughout the years, but in particular, my husband's great-grandmother, Alberta Sturgis, was an American heiress that came over during the Gilded Age. She married George Montagu, the 9th Earl of Sandwich, in 1905. And she's kept a fascinating archive of really correspondence between her and her friends, her and her mother back in the States, her siblings back in the States. But we did stumble across one of her diaries, and this diary was written when she was just 12 years old. And in particular, there's a wonderful, wonderful diary entry of her celebrating Christmas as a young girl. So we're gonna head into the Muniment Room now and find this diary. Many, many letters, journals, important papers are here. And this entire section right here is pretty much Alberta's section, her correspondence to George Montagu, the 9th Earl of Sandwich, to her children, her family back in America. But like I said, we stumbled upon one of her journals here. And this journal is, it has obviously just her beautiful, absolutely beautiful handwriting. And she began her diary in 1887. She would have been 10 years old then. She then finished it in 1891. And inside here is some fantastic references to Christmas. And I want to read you some of it, but I want to read it to you in a very, very special place. One of the things I love to do is shop at Antiques Market, and I'm so lucky because very close to Mapperton, right here in Bridport, the alleyways, a fantastic antiques market, and I'm here today to try to find a Christmas present for my husband. Here we are in the alleyways, the Bridport Antique Center, and it's enormous. What's extraordinary about, well, this one in particular is that there's, in one sense, sort of little plots scattered throughout this lovely historical building. And each plot, in one sense, is owned by an antiques dealer. And I do also think that, especially now, finding something that's been sort of, you know, in somebody else's hands before has more meaning around it. It's almost like we're re-gifting something from the past rather than going out and buying something new. I've just spotted this as well. We do have a lot of these at Mapperton, but it's quite sweet, especially the American in me loves a toast rack. We don't really have these in the States, so I love these toast racks, but we do have quite a lot at Mapperton, so I don't think I'm going to give him that for Christmas, but let's see what else there is. Here is the sound of the clock. And if you just listen closely, you can hear all of them chiming together if you like. Such a wonderful sound. Clocks. There are a lot of clocks at Mapperton. In fact, my father-in-law is brilliant and he goes around and winds all of the clocks. I don't know how many clocks we have, but as much as I would like to actually gift my husband a clock, he might say we already have enough. But these are just extraordinary handmade clocks. Some are slate, some are wooden, absolutely beautiful. Something that did spot my eye is right here. It does say needs attention, but this is a barometer. And look at the lovely font here. Absolutely beautiful font. It says needs attention. It's about in my budget, £20. I just have a feeling this is something my husband would love, and fingers crossed, he will be able to fix them. I mean, we all do love projects on Christmas Day, whether it's putting a puzzle together or putting the Lego together, but maybe this is his sort of project on Christmas Day, is to actually work on the barometer that I'm going to give him. I've just wrapped Luke's present and I think he's going to be really excited about it, but I'm going to just add a little bit of rosemary on it to give it that lovely, lovely Christmas scent. And under the tree it goes. I'm here lighting this candle, really kind of in honor of Alberta. I always feel that Alberta is somehow, somewhere looking after me. And that lovely portrait of Alberta in the staircase hall, just knowing that there was another American who came before me and experienced, I think, a lot of the things that I'm experiencing today really comforts me. December 1889, the 25th. I've had such a lovely time today. Grace and myself bought a Christmas tree, and it was so nice trimming it. We kept it a secret from Mrs. Frith's. So Christmas Day at 5 o'clock, we lit it. We made some bows of ribbon to tie on. We took some gold and silver beads made of strings and hung them from the branches, from branch to branch. We had little boxes of writing paper and some almanacs. We made bags of American, this word, I can't figure out what it is, but you've got to think of bags of American, and then Auntie filled them with candies. All our presents were put under the Christmas tree. Hollister, this was Alberta's brother, got from Auntie a glass box with drawing and painting articles and a paint book. From Hall, I got such a nice pocketbook. I was so glad to get it. From Papa, I got a pair of roller skates. From the girls, I got a lovely album. From B. Draper, I got a book called Her Great Ambition. So here's to Alberta and the many Christmases that she celebrated, not only in America as a child, but also over here in England, just like me.